All right. Hello there. So I was going through some old projects of mine and I found the very first project that I ever made. The very first actual full big web application I ever made. So don't pass too much judgment here because this was, one of the first things I ever did, and the first major project I ever did. But I pulled this up and I haven't worked on it in a very, very long time. I pulled this up and immediately was like, oh, there's definitely some stuff I want to change here. The biggest thing that I want to kind of do and overhaul here is the whole styling. I don't like the styling here. Some things don't line up. So there's definitely some work that to be done as far as the actual CSS and styling goes of this project. But I think there are some really cool features in this project that I want to obviously keep. So I wanted to kind of do a revamping of this, kind of a version 2, if you would, a V2. But before I did that, I wanted to make a video to show the project at its current state, at its first version, so that I can revisit it and see, remember what it was like. And also just to, show it off to other people and see, kind of, just show off, hey, this was the first thing I made. This is how it looked. No filters, no anything like that. This is what it was, and um, because sometimes online you'll see tutorials and people building, fantastic, amazing things in like 10 minutes or an hour or something. This is the very first project I made and I haven't touched it since I made it. So it's kind of fun to see that and critique it. And then my plan is to make a follow-up video to show it after I revamp it and change it up and add in, the stuff that I want to add, change the styling and whatnot. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. You can see I made this back. These posts are back from 2021, November of 2021. This is when I made this project. I came back to probably show it off to somebody back in 2022 and posted a story, but I didn't actually work on this project then. So I haven't actually worked on this since November of 21. So it's been quite a while. I'm recording this video now, June 1st of 2023. So it's been quite a while. So, learned a lot since I've made this project, but I think there's still some really cool stuff in here. So let's go ahead and take a look and just kind of run through this project really quick. This was built with Django, Python framework, utilizing a MySQL database and just CSS and a tiny, tiny bit of Bootstrap for the styling. But the main point of focus here when I was building this was the back end and the database relationships, all the back end logic, all that stuff. Focusing on Django. So we have login and registration here to open up. This is definitely the first thing I will change is the styling on this page. Both these pages, I don't really like. Excuse me. I don't really like the gradients, CSS gradient colors that I've chosen here. Just not a fan of this style overall. The only thing I really like here is the font. So I think I'll keep the font, but I'm going to be changing all the styling on all this. But we have good login registration here, validations on all these fields. And then with the username and the email, I'm ensuring that those have to be unique. So if someone tries to enter in a username and or an email that already exists, it won't allow them to say, hey, that already exists, choose a different one. So that's pretty cool there. And then the passwords are hashed and salted using bcrypt. So it's a pretty secure login registration. I already have some accounts here. So let me log in. All right. So this is the dashboard page that you would be presented to when you log in or register. The whole idea of this app is it's called Storyline. And the whole idea is any story ideas that you have, you can go ahead and post them here on the web page. and other people can view the stories and, get inspired by them. And then vice versa, you can view other people's ideas and stories and get inspired by them. They can be fictional and non-fictional, it doesn't matter. It's just a place to kind of come and collaborate, get ideas, and just, post different ideas and kind of blogs and whatnot pertaining to, screenplays, books, whatever it is that you have. So let's go ahead and post a new story. We'll just call this Max the Big Blue Dog, I guess. And we'll say Max is a big blue dog. So this is definitely one thing I'll change. Like I said, no filters or anything here. I haven't touched this since 2021. I don't know why this font is so small. I don't remember it being this small back then. I feel like I would have addressed that. But we're here and now, and it's extremely small. So that's one thing that I definitely need to change, and I will be changing immediately after this video. But I really wanted to capture it in its full state as it was before. We can choose categories as well down here. So I'm noticing that there's no like family children category, which this book might be. So that's another thing I will add. That's easy. I can go ahead and add that in, add in some more genres here to choose from. For now, we'll just do a comedy. We can close and reopen this drop down. We can go ahead and create that story, and we'll see it right here at the top. We can view the story, view the author, see when it was posted, and see the genre. Before we go ahead and jump over and start viewing stories, the last thing on this main page that I thought was really cool when I implemented it was the filter option. So we can actually filter by genres. So we'll see just action stories if we choose action. Mystery thriller, so on and so forth. So that's a pretty cool feature. I always thought if we go to comedy, we see Max the Big Blue Dog right there at the bottom. So I always thought that was a cool feature to have in there. Nice filtering option. We can go ahead and view that story, but let's view another person's story. So we'll view Bo's story. And there's just some lorem ipsum text in here. And we see Bo's story written by Bobo54. And we can add it to our favorites. So I'll go over that in a second. And we can also comment on this, say this is a great story. And we can see the comments down below. We would see everyone's comments. If there was other comments, we would see those, but there's just no other comments on this story. We have the ability to delete our comments. We can delete our comments and our stories that we posted, but we can't touch anybody else's. We can't edit them, delete them, or anything. So just to show that I can delete that, I deleted it. Another thing we can do is we can go ahead and check out our favorite stories. So I just added one story. Let's go ahead and add another one. Let's add Scary Spooky Story. Looks like I already have that added. So that's good actually. So I have a couple stories favorited. So I can go ahead and jump in here, and I can see I have 3 stories favorited by this user, bmarks42. That's who I'm logged in as. And I can view those stories. It's just a good place to track, what stories you're reading and which ones you really like. And what's actually really cool here is if we go and we see Scary Spooky Story was written by this user, Caden4364. If we go to Caden4364's profile page, excuse me, up here, this now changes to that person's favorite stories. So now we can see what this user is reading and what stories they like. And we can say, oh, nice, this author I really like. He's reading this story. Maybe he commented something he doesn't like it, but that's just testing stuff out. Having some fun with it. So we can go ahead and add this one to our favorites. And then we can go back to our favorite stories and we can see that one's added there. And maybe we read it and we actually don't like it, and we go back and it's gone. So it's cool to be able to track your stories, but also to be able to view what other people are reading. So if we go to Bo's, we can see what's Bo reading, you know, um, and so on and so forth. So I always thought that was really cool. We can go and check out other people's profiles. It's pretty basic. I could definitely add a lot here to the profile page. But definitely this is, a work in progress, as I've said. But you can see, what stories they've posted. So he's only posted one story. They have a nice profile picture here, and it's pretty cool stuff. Let's go back and for the last piece here, I'm going to view my profile, or the user logged in's profile, and we have a few more options here. So we'll go over the profile here in a second, but you can see that I can post stories just like I would be able to on the main homepage or dashboard page. Same thing there. And then I also have the stories that I've written, but I have the ability to edit or delete them. So I can go in and I can edit this story, and I can go back and I can delete that story. So now you see I have no stories. And then if we go over here, we can look at the user's profile. And this is the user that's logged in. So I have the ability to edit this profile. The same validations apply, making sure that the username and email are unique if they change them. And then there's validations on the first name and last name, making sure that they at least put something in there. And then the really cool thing that I did here was profile pictures. So I can change my profile picture, and we'll see that it updates right there for me. So that was a really fun thing to implement using Django for file uploading or image uploading. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole project here. Overall, I'm still proud of this project, especially the relationships I have set up, the back end, and just the different functionalities that I have. I built this project over the course of about 2 weeks, for a boot camp I was attending, and for the graduation. And once I graduated, I stopped working on this project, started learning other things and working in other languages and frameworks. And now it's been almost a couple years, and I'm coming back and revisiting it, and I thought it would be fun to just revisit this and kind of record it and go through it together. So as I said, I plan now on going back through and updating a lot of this stuff, specifically the styling, just making it look better. And then changing up some of the functionality. I think most of what I want to start with, if not all, is going to be the CSS and the actual styling of this. But there is some functionality that I want to change. For example, the filter stories. If I filter, I can't go back easily. I have to go and click on this or refresh the page. I would want to have a little button to clear the filters. So that's something that I could easily implement. And there's little things like that here and there. But it's fun to come back through after a long time and revisit something you've made and start, going through and dissecting it and critiquing it and making it better. Ultimately, that's what we always want to do, is just improve upon ourselves and our projects. So this is always can always be a powerful thing. So I look forward to posting another video here soon, where I show off this project version 2, right? Version 2 of this, when I update it and make it look a lot better and whatnot. So I look forward to posting that. Hope you do too, and we'll see you later.